Bethany Scott here, and welcome to my channel. Today I am just jumping on in to explore some things that I have had sitting to the side of my desk, and I haven't actually even technically looked at yet. So I am going to show you the July Simon Says stamp goodie box, box of the month. And first off, can never have enough of these. My mom, who does sewing, she found some of these and decided that she loves them. Next is the lovely bag. And if I can get this correctly, oh my gosh, we have stars. Stars. We also have a Scorched Timber Distressed Ink. I cannot remember if I already have this. I'll have to check the stash. If I already have it though, guess what? It's going in a goodie bag for someone this month. Speaking of which, this month will be my 4th year on this channel, and guess what? Number 4 is my favorite number, so that means I just have to do a giveaway. I do not have a link yet, but I will be doing an actual full promotion shortly. These are foam dots, or strips, I guess. Probably for a shaker card. Seems like little stars. There's a shaker theme going on. The window trio. Ooh, we could go. Oh my gosh. Look at these papers. Oh my goodness. What? How am I supposed to pick? This is this is torture. I have a thing for cherry blossoms. I used to live in the DC area, and right outside my apartment door, at the base of the stairs, I should say, I lived on the 2nd level, but at the base of the stairs were some beautiful cherry trees, and believe me, when it was spring and they blossomed, it was gorgeous. Unfortunately, we had a freak snowstorm that made them go away very quickly, but I also have a small obsession with New York City. It's one of my most frequently visited places outside of places that my families live. Yeah, so DC and New York have always had a place in my heart. So this is, whew, yeah. Yes, I am in love. Okay, craft glue. We also have some ocean wave stamp with clouds and birds, so it's called landscapes officially. Ooh, we have some acetate protected by this interesting texture that is like tissue paper, but I feel like some project somewhere needs that. Okay, so this is obviously the Let's Get Away. This is like Let's Travel the World. There's a cute little Paris scene with a bike, the city, the beach, the mountains, just trails and flowers. Oh my gosh. And then of course, happy birthday, missing you, because honestly, you can never have enough happy birthday or missing you stamps, or thinking of you. Yeah, definitely. So apparently this is called Through the Window. And gosh, I am loving this concept. Ooh, this is going to be a challenge though to keep it simple. Just gonna be honest. They're really gorgeous ideas. I did not do a sneak peek of this to even know what I was getting. Kind of neglected that this month. But here is a teal, I think. Well, a peacock. 100-pound cardstock, banana, 100-pound cardstock, and what would this one be? Ivory. So 3 colors that are neutral-ish, but fun. I don't know what to even attack first. I wish I were live right now, so then I could say, all right, which one am I doing, guys? Because I could keep it simple with just stamps, or I could do the window concept, or use the acetate. There's just a lot of options here. Oh man. I hope you all when you see this video, see the angst that this is causing me, because these are really fun. Oh goodness. This one seems more mixed season. This is gorgeous. These are really hard to choose. Cannot choose, really. I mean, okay, that one's one of my favorites. Oh my. And just the fact that these papers themselves are a mixed media feel, you could really either elevate it with more mixed media, zhuzh it up, or, you know, keep it on the simpler side with some basic whites and simple scenes. Oh my gosh. Okay, well we're gonna narrow it down to my favorite things, because why not? And I think we are going to make it simple with a thinking of you card. That makes the most sense. And I want to do the arched window. I guess that's the coolest. And why not? And they are meant to be 3D. So I'm glad I was able to talk that out with you. Next time I open one of these boxes, I should do it live, and then you can chit chat with me. Drop a comment below if that's what you would be all for, because I'm thinking that's what I need to do. By the way, I am filming this while there are a lot of fireworks going on, so please excuse the background noise, especially because apparently it's affecting my lighting system here. Whoops. Oh, apparently it's very much affecting my lighting system here. Pause. Alright, so I have pulled this ivory color to do the window frame here. I have also found on my desk still a sheet of paper from the last month Simon Says Stamp box of the month. So I figured this is cute, but the flowers don't match up quite yet, or quite right. But this really works. So we're going to do it this way, and then yeah. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting everything down. I will just cut this for the purpose of this. I will just cut it 5.5. Since most of what I do, if you're new here, is make 4.25 by 5.5 A2 size cards. So I've occasionally, I can't say I've never done it. In fact, because we're speaking of anniversaries, my first card was a 5x7 card on this channel. Now, if you go back and dig in the archives, it's still there. I was also pregnant then. Didn't exactly have a lot of time to edit. I was going through a few family crises at the time. Just full disclosure. So it's quite a long video, and I won't say it's painful to watch, but for me, like, there's an amount of growth that has happened since that. And so I like to think of that as, this is my growth period. I started this channel because I was growing and expanding myself, and, you know, rediscovering my love of art, and just sharing my love of what I do, which is crafting and thinking up things, especially on my feet. Sometimes, like right now, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. I'm just doing because it feels right. And my hope is that when I'm done, I like it, and then the person I give it to likes it too. So, you know, that's the concept. And I'm putting it through my lovely Sizzix switch, the Big Shot. And hopefully it cuts in the first time. It seems to be. And using a little bit of the mint tape from scrapbook.com to hold this down so it's not wiggling in the Big Shot. Okay, so I have to figure out how this works. We're going to experiment. How do we open this window? There's a lot of pieces. That's the other thing too, is now I have to figure out how to get my image inside of there. I think I have an idea. We'll just play along, experiment. I hope I figure it out. Okay, so it looks like, yep, okay. So it looks like all the pieces come out, and then that score line, you can just, you can either glue it down. I don't think I will though. I think I want it to be able to be opened. So, because I'm kind of making this scene basically where there's the pink plaid wallpaper, and then the scene outside is this beautiful cityscape with beautiful flowers. Yeah. So now the next step, because we're going to get all the pieces together before we start assembling, because that makes the most sense to me, is to figure out what, ooh, that's gorgeous. Or we have this. That's a really cute mixed media look, but we're gonna just keep it simple. I'm gonna make this, it's kind of like the Chrysler building. I don't know what it's supposed to be officially. Probably just the Chrysler building, because that looks like the World Trade new, or World Trade 1? I forget what the new one is called. But that's what that one looks like. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I have an erasable pen in case I don't like it. I love erasable pens because they're just nice. Okay, and then I need to look at what the lip situation is here, so if I don't cut all the way to the edge, that's fine. Okay, so I will start here at the edge, and then we'll just do a line here, line here, done. Okay, so then I basically have a rough outline using this erasable pen, and I'm just going to hand cut with some scissors here. And I'm going to cut on the inside a little bit. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm so excited about this box. You know, sometimes inspiration, when you get certain boxes from people, like occasionally you'll get a box and you're like, that's not really my style. But then there's like some boxes that come and you're just like, wow, like this is so me on many, many levels. Like this specifically speaks to me just because I am a natural born traveler. The story goes, my dad was a pilot my whole life thus far. He technically still is, although he is retired-ish from flying in general, but he still has a pilot's license, so if he really does want to. He's punching 80 though, so again, he has to really want to. So yeah, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to score this a little bit better. I'm gonna just try to pop it out from here without breaking it. It is a little delicate, so maybe it'll pop better when it's glued. I won't futz too much with that. But yeah, look at. Oh my goodness, so cute. Okay, so I the first time I was ever on an airplane, I was 2 months old, and my dad had gotten permission from his boss to fly me with my mom, and I was the firstborn, so just me and my mom and him, fly us to Pennsylvania to meet my grandma for the first time. And so yeah, I've literally been flying since I was 2 months old. And I believe that was the first time I met her. I don't know. You know, sometimes details like that have become fuzzy over the years, but I just remember it was to Pennsylvania to be shown off to family. Anyways, you know, and I'm sure my mom will correct me later, because occasionally some of these details, again, get lost in translation or memory. So I just have fallen in love with flying all throughout the years, and yeah, so travel is just in my DNA, it seems. The first time I went to New York City, it was actually my 16th birthday. I had my 16th birthday in New York City. I entered New York at 15 and left at 16. So the story goes, my 16th birthday, I was on a choir trip with, it was called Youth on a Mission. That was our choir name. And I was one of the younger members, so I was assigned a chaperone. And she was one of my favorite people, one of my mentors. And she, you know, was showing me a great time. And on my 16th birthday, though, no one knew it was my birthday. And so I was a little sad, you know, a little upset. None of my family had called me. Oh, wait. I had called my aunt in California, not realizing there was a 3-hour difference. So I woke her up because I missed her. And I was sad that no one had called me or, like, acknowledged it was my birthday. So that happened. And that day we were supposed to go to, or we did go to Chinatown as one of our first stops. Actually, the first stop, it was our, we went to, because this was this first summer after 9/11, so not even a full year after. But, I'm aging myself a little bit, not that much, but we had gone to the wharf and gone to visit some of the fire stations that were there, and, you know, had lost members in 9/11. And so we talked with a few of them. We made donations and supported them. And you know, it was very sentimental and very sad, because that's what happens when you go to New York City the year after, or only a few months after 9/11. Oh, that is a really, really cute other side. Dang it. No, I'm going to keep with this one. But still, that is a really cute one, too. So if you do get this set, this box, someone please use that and tag me in it, because I want to see it. So, yeah. Lots of forlorn, sentimental whatever that day, my 16th birthday. And so we went to Chinatown after that. And, you know, it was really great. We were all kind of floating around shopping. And the group I was generally with the whole trip, it was about 4 of us, yeah. So there's 4, I was the 5th person. And we weren't assigned the group at any point, but these were just the people that I was hanging out with, because my mentor was hanging out with them, basically. And so I was in one of the little shopping centers, and I turned around and the people I was with were gone. And in fact, I could not find anyone that was familiar looking. And so I left that store. I decided not to buy what was in my hand. started frantically looking around all through downtown Chinatown. And I'm going to pause the story to line this up because I can't line it up and talk, it seems. There we go. So cute. Okay, so hopefully I can bend this. Yeah, or the recipient can bend it. That's fine. I'm not bothered. But it's really cute. I mean, I could just leave the sentiment for another day because that's just really, really fun. Anyways, so as the story goes, I kept looking and I kept looking all over, and finally I found the bus. I don't know how I found the bus because I was in Chinatown. I was 16. I was not remembering where the bus was or where we were supposed to meet the bus at. Let me rephrase. I found the bus and got on the bus. I was one of the last. In fact, they were frantically looking for me, I guess. I was like 3 people they had sent back out to go look for me because, you know, they realized they messed up. And so I found myself basically. I don't even know how. I just kept walking until I saw the bus. And I looked at it, I'm looking at the back, and I'm like, yeah, that's definitely the right place. So, you know, found my own way. And so I'm gonna risk this stamping by just doing it. But yeah, so that is the story of my 16th birthday. I also, after I found the bus, my mentor, she was like completely like, oh my gosh, Bethany, I can't believe I lost you. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. You know, and very, very apologetic for ditching me in New York City on my birthday. And I was a little teary-eyed, not gonna lie. But, you know, forgiving, of course, because why not? And, yeah, it turned out to be a lovely day. And she did, at our next stop, get me some flowers, which I promptly put in my water bottle so they wouldn't die. And we did go to the 9/11 memorial after that. So the sadness continued a little bit because that was at the time before they had done any rebuilding. They were still digging through the rubble at that point. So, you know, just seeing these barricades of masses of rubble, and yeah, it was pretty sad. I think I cried a lot on my 16th birthday. But it's okay because it was also extremely memorable. And I had still met friends with some of the people in my group that had ditched me. In fact, I hang out with one of those members pretty often. So, you know, occasionally I do rub it in like, hey, by the way, remember that one time you left me in New York City and I was 16 and you had no idea that I was even missing? Remember that? Yeah. I like to rub that one into some people's faces. Just a little bit. But yeah, so I've always had this travel bug. So moving on to when I was in my 20s, I actually started making it a regular thing to go to New York in the summers. And ironically, a lot of my friends ended up moving there along the years. And so in different areas, like one friend, she married a gentleman from Baltimore, and she and I were really close in high school, and then we you know, life happens and she got married and I was single for life at that point. And so she was a person I always tried to visit every summer I could. And then one of my besties from college, he moved there. He found his wife there. All this, so was kind of just, hey, I'll come visit. Another one of my friends from, gosh, I knew his family from, I think, even before grade school, actually. And he lived there for a while, and I would just call him up and say, hey, I'm in, like, Times Square. Are you anywhere around? And he's like, oh, I'm actually in the subway right now. Yeah, let me just, switch trains, and I'll come meet you right now. Yeah. And so, like, always had someone to catch up with, and even when I didn't, it was okay, because I was very at ease with playing the independent New Yorker, even though I was very much not the independent New Yorker. But I played it off very well. Like, my favorite place and thing to do in New York City is not a typical thing. It is actually to grab a book, go down to Grand Central Station, and they may not still have it there, but they, for the longest time, had this ice cream gelato coffee shop. And you could get a coffee or a latte with a scoop of gelato in it. And that was my comfort, was to just take a book, grab one of those, and sit and people watch. I'd read, a couple paragraphs and then look up and people watch, and then another couple paragraphs. I mean, like, that to me is therapy. Just having massive amounts of chaos and your brain is focused on a book and your coffee. And I don't know why. That's just one of the most comforting feelings in the world, is maybe just having that choice to decide to focus on what's around you or not, and detract and fall into another world. Oh my gosh. Speaking of another world, let's open those windows. So cute. Yeah. I have to think about who this one is going to, but I hope they enjoy it, because this was simple, fun, fast and easy. I did more talking than I did actual doing, so that's how that goes. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy the inspiration. If you get this box, drop a comment down below. If you're interested in this box, drop a comment below. I am not an affiliate of Simon Says Stamps, but I should be. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to find the joy in your day, and happy July and happy making. Bye!